We're live. Hello.
Lovely.
David Ian Rogers. How
Yes. Oh, most of the time, all right. Marky. Woo.
When I first met you about 9 months ago, right?
November the 2nd. Very prophetic day.
Yes. Not that you've written it down in your diary.
No.
No. Now, everybody watching, this is David Ian Rogers.
Oh, yes.
He's a shambolic Heyoka. There's a shambolic?
Yeah, very much so, yes.
Shamanic Heyoka.
That's it, yes. That'll do, yeah.
He's a, believe it or not, he's a healer. Oh Jesus! Look, I got to tell everybody. When I first met this guy, he helped me a lot, and I think you told a few people behind my back that I needed a bit more help, didn't you?
No, I told everyone I met. Yeah, even the guy who sells me the curry. Oh, that guy needs help. Yeah.
So it's been 8 months since I've spoken to you.
Yeah, that's about right. Yes.
I don't know where the fuck that's gone.
I know.
Anyway, so a belated thank you.
You're welcome. You took your time.
When I last spoke to you, we had a very serious interview. We're back on my original channel. I had about 3 subscribers, and I was very keen to hide what you did from everybody, because my healing session with David took about 2 minutes, didn't it?
20
minutes.
Not that I wrote it down. No.
Yeah, that was a record, wasn't it?
Yeah, you are. You're the world record holder with the shambolic healer. Yes.
So I was gonna start the show by doing an impression of what you did to me, but then I thought, no, I'm giving away his trade secrets.
Oh,
and here you are doing it anyway.
That's right. Most people wouldn't be able to do it anyway, because you've got to be 5D really, or backward, not have a care in the world and be trauma free. Yeah, you've got to be trauma free really, because the secret to it is mimicking the very thing that the person is going. Next minute I'm going, does that make sense? And you're going, what the? Your head's going, what?
I mean, what was it Jack Nicholson said in Batman? He said, haven't you ever heard of the healing power of laughter?
That's the one. Well, they have now.
Yeah. Where does he get those wonderful toys? This town needs an enema. So this is a serious conversation, because you do
very serious.
You do very, very serious work with people that have trauma.
Yes, that's it.
Yes. You've been a busy boy, haven't you?
A little. Bloody Charlie Ward, you and JCK have set they're like Zulus coming over the hill in that email. I had to clear me overwhelm. I was like, I was up 3 o'clock in the morning.
You can't mention Zulus without me doing this.
No, go on.
Stop throwing bloody spears at me. That was one of my first films. Back when I was very shouty.
Love it, man. Love that.
Oh my God. Oh man, I've had quite a busy day, and I was like, I sent you a message the other day. Said, you fancy doing another chat on the channel? And he went, yeah, tomorrow. And I went, and then I'm sat here reading the book. I was just had lunch, and I was really getting into this book, and my alarm went off, and I went, oh fuck, I'm really enjoying this book. I know, we'll just do it live. We'll just do it live, because then I don't have to download and upload and blah 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 blah. So anyway, have we actually spoken about anything interesting yet?
Oh, very much so. Yeah, me. Yes.
I'm not going to get.
5D. That's the one. He's on the tuning forks.
Yeah, brilliant. I've learned I can sing now. Weird. Anyway,
741 hertz, I believe. Yeah.
Yes, 741 hertz. I saw 740 hertz, but I much prefer the sequel 741 hertz. It's far superior in script and character development. So,
Trauma. Yes, trauma. Very, very serious.
Trauma.
Yeah.
Well, everybody's suffering from trauma very, very, very badly at the moment. And
Yeah.
how do you help them? No, let's go back in time, right?
Go on.
What's your life story, David? Give me the short version.
Oh, okay. Born backwards, breech. Mother said, "Holy moly, what you doing?" The nurse said to her, "What you doing with that such a long baby in such a short body as yours?" And I was instead of being mollycoddled as a kid, I was sort of winding people up from a very, very, very early age.
With that voice, I don't know how.
And I know it's very, very strange. Yeah, and the mimicry just was almost instantaneous. I was mimicking everybody. Then I saw quadratic equations at the age of 7 coming out of my third eye, and I was writing them down. And the welfare officer and the headmaster who put my left arm behind my back and said, "You're evil." I said, "Well, it come out of your mouth." And this is at 7.
What? Hang on. What? How do you determine someone's evil? Because there's quadratic equations.
Because he couldn't do it. It's the egotistical fear, I believe,
Yes.
Dr. Hayton. Yes. So he tied my left arm behind my back because that was known for being evil in those days, the left footers. And
that's true. That's
yeah.
true.
I don't. Well, unfortunately, it is. Yeah. The welfare officer got the first type of psychologist. You couldn't make that word up, could you? Well, they did. And what happened was they tried to get a 7-year-old to understand why he was seeing quadratic equations in his third eye. And when they asked me, I just said, "Well, what are they, David? Can you explain them?" I said, "Yeah, letters and numbers." And that's all I understood at that time because I'd not been taught anything. It was just coming out. And they'd say, "Where's it coming from?" I said, "About here. And it's going in here. Now I can just put it here." And it just freaked them out. And I had no idea. Didn't tell my mum, didn't tell anybody, pretended I was shit at maths. It was mad stuff when I was growing up. Because it freaked me out because not so much what I was experiencing, it was normal to me. But what wasn't normal was their fear, which was my first introduction to Satan, really. And it's been the central theme right the way through. A year later, my nana said to me, "If you ever meet anybody who gives you a bad feeling or gives you a knot in your stomach when you meet anybody who gives you that knot, then you walk away." 4 years later, I met Barry Bennell and Francis Roper, the one's dead Roper, convicted and well-known paedophiles. Well, Bennell is, and as soon as I saw him, the knot appeared in my stomach, and that was the end of my football career. And ever since, playing football, I was always playing a year up and meeting the elites. Again, I went to a school and they didn't do me 11 plus. I just got sort of cherry picked by the father of the ex-England cricket captain, Michael Atherton, Alan Atherton. And he just cherry picked me because I was good at football. I used to play a couple of years above my age. And it was because of my personality that I stood out, really, because I was very dynamic on the pitch, believe it or not. And what happened there was I met a lot of people who I was aware straight away from an early age that they were sinister and evil. And I had the knot in my stomach, and I was like a beacon for them, and they'd just avoid me when I went for trials. And then strangely enough, I never got picked, even though all the other scouts go, where's Dave Rogers? He should be here. And they wouldn't pick me because I displayed the fear I had for them subconsciously that they recognized was I recognized who they were.
That's really interesting. So you were a very high frequency baby. You were tapped in.
I think so. Yes.
I think you were. You were tapped in. I keep wanting to break into words or garbage.
Yes.
By the way, any American friends watching this, that's called a Mancunian accent.
Oh, yes.
Yes. From Manchester.
Manchester.
So you were getting this stuff coming into your head. Third Eye was working, all alive and well, and all this interesting stuff coming out. There's a couple of things there. David said he did the 11 plus. Back in the 60s, there was this exam, in the 70s. He's older than he looks. In the 70s.
55.
There was an exam called the 11 plus. That you had to pass in order to go on to different schools. My dad deliberately failed it because he didn't want to go to the posh school. But that's another story.
Yeah.
Another thing there. I have a football story because I was very much from a footballing family, and I played football against Scotland. And when I got picked for that team, I turned up to training in Norwich, deepest, darkest Norwich.
Norfolk.
Deptford it was. I got off the train, and the manager sat there, and he said, "Right, lads, I'm your manager. Now, if any of you's got an headache, don't come to me unless you want to take your pants down." I was like, "What did he just say?"
Wow.
What did he just say?
Yeah.
And funnily enough, even though I was one of the best, I was substitute. And some of the lads went into his room at night. That's all I'm saying.
No surprise there.
So recognizing these evil fuckers, I was actually contemplating that the other day because I've always recognized them, and they've always bounced off me. But then over the years, they found different ways of getting in. So my explanation of that is that demonic entities. See, my first memory as a kid is being recruited by demons when I was about 3 or 4 years old. They come every night, and they literally have conversations with me saying, "You're really powerful. You want to come on our side because we're the best side to be on." And I'd be going, "No, I don't want to. I'm not going." And over the next 40 or 50 years, they found different ways into me and through people. And I think that's what's going on at the moment with the black goo, because the demons are gone and we've got the black goo there at the moment, which is imitating it, which is the AI. Which I'm going up Clyde Road without a paddle here because
no, it's trauma. You're not going off paddle because what you're actually mentioning here is the central theme in my life.
He says, professionally pulling it back in.
Is basically trauma is the central theme of everything we've been talking about, whether it's demons, elite, everything in the schools we've been talking about, your experiences. Trauma is the central theme, and trauma, a traumatized vessel is the only vessel they're interested in. If you're trauma-free, the entities and the intrusions sharpish, because there's nothing to feed off. And it appears to be the case that I'm the only soul, apart from God knows how many I've cleared since our wonderful meeting on the 2nd of November. I'm collecting an army of trauma therapists who, once they're clear in their mind and their cup and dish blind Pharisee, their God's precepts will be seen, and people will go, Jesus, he's the one for me, which is nearly every bloody paraphrase of everyone. It had to be you. I was in tears when I saw you. Yes, you should have seen me when I was younger. I used to do that there. And it was sort of, that was the usual thing in the last 6-7 months, because once your cup and dish is clear, the authentic character comes out. In my case, it's literally larger than life, because it's an energy that is from a different planet. The Heyoka, because the Heyoka basically sits in the 34th or the 35th vertebra, which is about here when I'm doing sessions. So I'm not in here going, oh, she's in a mess. Ooh. You know, like most psychotherapists, sorry about that, Satan. So as a consequence, I just see it all, don't judge it, can't see it, basically, and just wrap it up and delete it as quick as possible. Don't want it running around in my head. So that's what happens, really. And the Heyoka energy, as JCK said, she actually, when we actually chatted for a bit, when you linked us up, and she said, "Oh my God," she said, "if you don't do this, don't become the Heyoka." I went, "Yes." She said, "They'll kill you." I went, "I know." She went, "And I don't mean Satan." I went, "I know, my thunder beings. Yes, I know that they don't want me to waste this life like Robin Williams did."
Oops, did you say that out loud?
Yes, it offended a few A-listers. Yes, I've been in communion with. I educated them to how he was like most people, is sold to the dark side and believed there was no other way. And of course, there probably wasn't at the time, but he definitely was a Heyoka.
Okay, let's just explain what a Heyoka is for people who don't know.
It's an energy that knows that the brain here, the mark of the beast, the prefrontal lobe, repeats everything on a loop that it's been told in the first 7 years of our lives. And as a consequence, then it repeats here as the mark of the beast and repeats all the first 7 years of our lives. So if we're abused, we believe it for the rest of our lives, which is why most people in January, when they say, "I'm going to lose weight," says the rational mind, the conscious mind, prefrontal lobe cortex, and the little boy says at the back, "No, you're not. You can't say no to. Do you want fries with that, sir?" And so there's an inner battle going on for the rest of our natural, unless the Heyoka shows up who goes, "You're not your thoughts." No. And Jesus alluded to it in the Christ letters, which was passed to me by Arlene Chamon, who said, "Oh my God, David, oh my God, she says you're number 5 in the letters." And I went, "Really?" She said, I said, "Cinema, well, let's have a look at that. Like, fame at last." She went, "Jesus was a Heyoka." I said, "Well, that makes sense. He was a bloody nutter. He got crucified, yes. There will be none of that this time, if that's the case. I'm handing this process to every bugger so they can all get crucified together. They'll never spot us." So as a consequence, she was right, because Jesus, when he came back, channeled through by an unnamed recorder, and said that once the human race wakes up to the fact that it's their thoughts and feelings which is stopping them from doing the work that I did, or as Jesus said, "You too can do what I do." And all he was doing was just getting people to access the thoughts here, to bring them to here, which is the delete button, the working memory of the brain, which is how I worked out how things are deleted. And once you bring the actual memories from here in the reptilian brain, the brainstem, and shift it here, you can delete the bloody lot. Once you've created the bad feeling, as you will testify for the 20 minutes that we had the ride of our lives, I would imagine you had, yes.
Yeah. Well, you know, like most people watching this, lifetime of traumas, personally, but also what I find interesting is, you know, the society we live in is trauma based, and the last 18 months has all been trauma psychological warfare. So you've come into your own, haven't you?
November the 2nd was D-Day. He enacted the executive orders for the release of Jasara, and the number of clients that I've met who are, "What's Charlie Ward saying? There's no redemption centers. I'm in one." I'm like, this is a message I received on Skype or an ex-client. I'm like, it's off. So yeah, the timing of it was, yeah, this is my time. Yeah, because I tried to do the deal with the devil. The council, "Do you want paying, David? I'm resolving all your strategic objectives. It's only fair." So I had to trick them in, because they didn't value me. I couldn't work with them because my currency is not money, it's appreciation, and that's going to be on the agenda with Trump and whoever is in the redemption centers. Then they'll be spotting whether or not they actually care about people and they're actual humanitarians and not imposters, which is why the ex-client in the redemption center who sent me the message, that's that's the general criteria here. I've worked with 2 US military personnel who said, yep, there's going to be a broadcast in about 6 weeks. That was about 4 months ago. They confirmed that things are going to plan, even though it's been delayed, because then they said it might be delayed because the quantum satellite system is actually revealing more and more evil. Shit, that one's involved as well. Bloody get that one. So they've been trying to catch up with all these characters who are revealing themselves through the AI, as you say.
Yeah, it gets deeper and deeper and deeper. Right, I've got a question because I'm doing this live. Somebody called MagSense has said a true Heyoka would never claim to be one.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
What do we take that then?
Yeah, I say the intention of my saying it is to once upon a time, I denied it all my life. This time, I wonder what the intention for stating that would be. Evil, maybe? Keep the person in secret so that humanity doesn't rise up. Sounds like a fear-based question to me.
That's what I thought. But
yeah. Don't just jump on the side. No.
It's amazing. It's amazing how many people I'm seeing. Well, now, but also since I started this channel, coming out with fear-based questions and negative stuff and slagging people off and looking for holes and everything and saying you can't trust this, you can't trust that. And I find the answer is very simple. Just go inside and trust that knot in your stomach.
And then delete it, of course. Yes.
And then delete it, yeah.
Yeah, because the negative thoughts are not you. That's the conditioning of all the earlier teachers.
Oh. And that's why you said the prefrontal lobe was the mark of the beast.
It is.
Let's go.
And Jesus Christ, in the channel message of Christ's letters, says the mark of the beast is mainstream media in 65. Spot on, because the mainstream media know how to activate it.
10 ways of looking and finding out if your partner's shitting on you.
Wonder what that focuses the prefrontal lobe on.
Fear, deceit. Yes.
No, it's amazing. I said this on a video yesterday. I got a message from a colleague who was very proudly showing me his badge, and under it he put yeah, I'm now chipped and ready to go. Smiley face, laughing face. I was like, wow, fucking hell. I mean, the mind control. I mean, I spoke to him also the other week, and he sounded like a robot. He literally sounded like a robot. It was like he didn't know. He'd forgotten all about me. He'd forgotten what I stood for. Forgotten what I was about. I mean, he's been taking the piss out of me relentlessly for 3 years, thinking I'm a complete lunatic. And now I'm having conversations with him, and he's forgotten. It's really strange. Really strange. The power of this thing being taken over. I mean, I was downloading stuff. I don't like the word downloading, but you know what I mean. I was getting messages 6, 7 years ago, no longer, 7, 8, 9 years ago. I got told to write a book called Life is Easy. And I started being a marketer. I set up the website. I made a load of memes and I got everything ready and I started to write it. And one of those memes was turn off your TV. Because I'd come home one day from work and all my kids were little. And we had a playroom. As you went through the front door, there was a playroom and they were all watching TV. And I walked past them 3 times and they couldn't see me. And I was waving at them. I was going, Dada's here, hello. And they were looking right through me. And I turned to the TV and I was like, that's what they've been doing with all those fucking masks Tony Blair put in up and down the country, digitizing the television, because it just turned it into a full-on hypnotherapy device.
Yep.
Or not hypnotherapy, hypnotism device.
I know what you mean. Yep.
So I unplugged it and never watched it since. And everybody that I've met who's awake has the same thing in common. They don't watch TV.
Correct.
Amazing. And I presume the people, has everybody that's been healed by you and read your book and stuff, are they all awake people who just realize they've got to get rid of trauma, or are there any people that come to you that don't necessarily want to come to you, or came to you because they got told to, or you know, that aren't already on the way? Because I'm guessing it's people that are already on the way.
Charlie has aligned me with every single empath who thought they were blocked. I've had 3 narcissistic, psychopathic, sociopaths book in. Hi, David. I'd like to get your process. I'm healing myself. Okay, go to the first trauma. Oh, I'm not traumatized. I went, you're not traumatized. I said, where's your spaceship? Where's your spaceship? I'd like a lift somewhere. Yes. No. I'm not traumatized. I'd like your process. I said, I can't do that. Why's that? I said, you're either a narcissistic psychopath or you're a pathological liar. Either way, I can't hand it over. It's dangerous. Oh, is that it then? Sounds like it. Yes. I'm the gatekeeper.
Yeah.
I keep evil at bay. Yes. Woohoo.
You do, and I've said this lots of times on the channel that the demons don't like laughter, and it's like it's like Mary Poppins when they're all laughing and they float to the ceiling. It actually raises your vibration, and like you said, it gives. There's nothing for them to grab onto, so we've got to keep the laughter high, haven't we?
Without a shadow of a doubt, because it's the vibration of 5D. It's joy and laughter. They know it.
Yeah. Oh no, that's why they've stopped gigs. The comedy for the last 20 years has been bollocks, rubbish, all woke nonsense. You can't laugh at anything. Although I do laugh at everything still. I've never stopped.
Me too. Yep.
Saved my ass.
Yeah.
But the most popular, did you see that poem I wrote called There Is But One Word? You've obviously not.
No.
It's all right. It's not a you know, it's not a pass. It's not a test.
No, I just wanted to find out whether I did or not. Yeah.
It just basically goes along the lines of there is but one word that sums up this attempted mass genocide of the human race, and then I throw up pictures of Pelosi and Boris Johnson and that guy pretending to be the president, and I go cut, and it's like that. It's kind of like that bit, you know, made me laugh. Anyway,
I'm gonna go.
That's my most.
I'm gonna have a look at that. I'm gonna have a listen to that one. Yes.
It's not even a poem. It was just a joke.
You're joking. You tricked me.
It's funny. People need it. People are asking if you do healing remotely. I think you do, don't you? Because we've never.
That's all I do. Yeah. That's all I do.
In fact, when I met David, I'm a publisher as well, and I was so impressed with him that I published his book, which there's a link for it below this video, and it's an ebook and there's an audio book, and I think in there are details of, you can find out more about his story and the work that he does, but also you can find out how to book with him if you want to. Nobody's forced to do anything on my channel. So let's go back a bit then, because I remember you telling me this. You touched on it a minute ago about when you were employed by the council. Was it in a mental health charity? What was it? It was
a council not too far away from Manchester, and I changed the legal status to from a grassroots club to a community-owned club, not too dissimilar to FC United, which was the rebel faction who started the
are they still going?
Resistance to Manchester United.
Are they still going? Because I've not been to Manchester for years.
Yeah, they're still going. They founded in 2005. Yeah, and the guy who founded them, Andy, he helped me with changing the legal status, and it fell apart because they said, "Do you want paying, David?" And I thought, what? I've just aligned the strategic objectives of the local core plan of that particular council, and the CEO says, "Do you want paying?" I thought, whoa. There's someone not appreciating me here. So I decided to find out whether they would double cross me. So I approached somebody else in the council and said, "Hi, here's me CV, just working with your big boss, and she's we're about to go give it the green light, and just need to find out whether you'd be interested." And this was the guy who was primarily interested in crime rehabilitation and resolving substance abuse, which is a specialism of mine, because it's all trauma based. Well, according to the last 30 years of psychiatric research, has proven beyond all doubt that the root cause of all mental illness is trauma or child abuse. And the symptoms of trauma: addiction, anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts, OCD, eating disorders, clear all them. You name it, the lot is gone when you just go to the trauma, clear that. You then go to the excitement about numbing the trauma. When we cleared that, then I go to get the excitement about eating the donut, 28 of them all at once. Oh, that was just me. I enjoyed them donuts. And then once we got rid of that, you disconnect the feeling around the, oh shit, I'm out of control, I'm going to look like a donut. And when you get rid of all that emotion there, you're free from 3D mental illness, dis-ease, slavery. The Heyoka is back in town. Yoo-hoo! Yes. And the addiction is gone. The addiction to a behavior is gone.
Well, I'm just reading a book at the moment by a really interesting guy who was an orthopedic surgeon, and he started to work on diet with his patients, and he was healing people more with his lifestyle advice because he was going through his own journey and healing himself. And he actually got struck off, and I'm just reading that 3.5 years of him being suspended and then struck off because he wasn't hitting the profit targets that they wanted which is exactly the same thing that happened with you. You were healing people so quickly that they were losing their funding because they weren't holding on to patients long enough, which to me is just another proof of this medical tyranny that we've lived under for all this time, because they have absolutely no interest in healing us of anything.
Correct. There's an agenda for big pharma. I met the number of clients that I've met. There's one guy in Bristol. He was actually he's found the cure for malaria and other things, and he was told by big pharma, get out of Ghana now. This was quite a few years ago. Beautiful guy. Will I Am Elder, Vancouver. He's the guy who has got links to Tesla, got his own med bed. He's an engineer of it. And he just said to me after I cleared his trauma, he went, David, he said, any chance of you putting your process in just a recording so I can transfer it to the quantum resonance plasma tachyon med bed? And I went, what the and I only 3 days early, I'm going, for God's sake, I can't do as many as I'm doing a day here. For God's sake, God, help me here. Give me a process where I don't do anything, and the bloody things that we get this bloody rolled out and they all get healed. So he's that was about 2 months ago. He's only just got back to me saying, if you can imagine the Christopher Lloyd in the Back to the Future, he's got the personality of that. He's got the personality of that. He's so beautiful inside and out. Yeah, really, really high vibe guy. And he's referring quite a few of his friends. And there was one friend of his who had a background, should we say, in the medical profession. And he took one look at me and went, "Oh, you're well, you're happy. I can't work with him." And he was in the background because he had to sort his laptop out, and he went, "What happened there, David?" I went, "He felt the Heyoka's energy, I think." Yes. He went, "Fuck me, Dave," he says. "Fuck it. I've been trying to get that lad sorted for ages." I went, "No chance. He don't want to be well. He prefers the drugs." He said,
He's a psychiatrist. And he went, oh my God. He said, is that how you? I said, yeah. All I have to do is show up, and I irritate people. I know that's hard.
You don't irritate people. You irritate the entity that's attached to them. And this has been. I was actually talking about that this morning with a friend of mine outside, because he was talking about going to a psychiatrist. He's convinced that he was sectioned when he was younger. And he said to me today, he said, they put an implant in me in here. They took me up to space and I saw the earth burn. And I was like, well, that wasn't the good guys. I don't think it was the good guys. But he suffered like schizophrenia ever since. And I said, you know, don't go and see a psychiatrist, go and see a healer. You know, I'm interviewing one this afternoon. There's a wonderful woman down the road I went to see on Friday that was an incredible healer. But a lot of people just don't want. They're afraid to go there because the entity has stopped them going and repeat this thing in their head that they need to go to the guy in the white coat. And even psychiatrists, right? Mind doctors. This is what they're supposed to be. What do? They prescribe drugs.
Yeah, the drug peddlers.
What does the doctor down the GP do? Prescribes drugs. Doesn't talk about your diet. Doesn't talk about your exercise. Just prescribes drugs. When is the world going to wake up? And by the way, who's the name of that guy with the med beds? I want to get him on the show.
Will I am Elder.
Do you know how to get hold of him?
I'll send you his email. Yes.
Yeah, do that. I'd like to speak to him.
Top man.
Yeah, he sounds amazing. So yeah, this whole kind of mental illness, and you know, there's people saying in the chat about feeling that heavy energy at the moment, and it has been kind of a weird few weeks. Well, it's been a weird. It's just fucking weird, isn't it? Full stop. What you know, not everybody's going to be able to book to see. But again, if you want to see David, if you want a session with him, there's a link below to his book, and within that you can get details of how to contact him. And he's very busy. That's the reason why we do the book. What can people do without having to come and see you? What could somebody do right now that will help them?
Right. Another interviewer asked me that, and I said, whatever you do, don't go to the memories, because Satan has commissioned Prince William and the royal family to be the patrons of the mental health charity, so that it gets people talking about how they're feeling and their trauma. If you do that, you're shifting it from here to here, which means it's dangerous. It means it's live, if you like. And that feeling is hard to dislodge without using diaphragmatic breathing and me tricking the mind into letting go of the fucking thing, because it holds on. Once you've created it, it's going fire, fire, fire. He's holding on to it like that, and I have to make it laugh, and then it goes fuck yeah, and it literally, I make it fucking laugh. And that's why laughter is the best form of medicine, because it goes and it lets go of the bad feeling in the psoas muscle, which is the seat of the soul, which is where it electromagnetically connects. So that distract yourself. That's what most people do, but do it in a healthy way. So watch the football.
Wow.
Distract yourself. Go to the park, ground yourself. We know all this, but if we actually, that's why suicide and the actual suicide rate in the UK in the last 18 months has gone up 200%, because celebrities, unbeknown to them, hopefully, and I'm sure the people who are pushing people to talk about the feelings in relation to the traumas, if they're doing that, that's why it's gone up, because they can't, once it's live, it's dangerous, because you can't shut it off. Whereas subconsciously, it just comes in and out, triggered in and out. And that's way most people deal with it. Well, that's the way they've been conditioned. But that's why the way of the Heyoka is backwards. So he knows that every thought in my head, ask my wife, every thought in there is just absolute shite, really.
How is your wife? Give her my love.
Oh, she's enjoying being the lady of leisure. You've literally made us do conjugal roles, because she was the provider for 10 years while everyone thought I was mad, while her mother-in-law, my mother-in-law said, "You bloody wasteless, mate. Why can't you hold down a job?" I was teaching me maths backwards in the special needs school, and they were asking me to leave because I was clearing the traumas, and I was 60% above the fail rate. We have to be below mainstream success rate in order to get the £1 million a year funding. Don't give me that. You're making this stuff up. What are you doing in crews? Well, David, can you leave? We have to keep them in a state of trauma for 3 to 6 months because we can't do this 2 hours and out. How do you know I'm doing that? The bloody thank you cards are going through the bloody roof. I've no room for them in the bloody box I've been throwing them in. Oh, so I have to go. Oh, right. Yeah. How am I going to tell that one to the missus?
Well, tell her thanks for the CD. I still haven't got a CD player, but I'm getting one.
Oh. Oh, magic. Yeah, I'm a big believer in the solfeggio tone. She actually wrote 9 songs when we first met. It was a real cataclysmic past life stuff. Met at a mutual friend's house, January the 17th, 2008. We got married on the 21st of May, 4 months later. Having never thought about marriage, a Heyoka doesn't get married, apparently. Yes. Well, I'm sure somebody will correct me on that if they're fear-based. Yes. And what has preceded has been nothing short of just sheer incredible. By getting married by a shaman and 3,500 feet up the Andes. Then he initiated me into the starting of the way of the Kiro, and he's had to do it, Francisco, by online stuff as well. The communication we have is just incredible. Saved my life in many ways, because when I lost my 2 mates in the road track accident, which was the real wake-up call on the 3rd of January, and 5 years later, my best mate who died in the accident, the guy fell asleep at the head of his wheel of his van, right into the back of him. I was outside. I was 20 feet above the van, above the accident at the time, sorry, according to 4 eyewitnesses who were relaying it back to the police. And then 5 years later, I went to see his mum and said, "How are you?" And she went, "Not good. Why did you survive? And why did you survive and my son die?" And I went, "I don't know." And it kept repeating here. And that was the start of me working out 2005. How does this keep on repeating things when we don't want it to? And I knew that it was creating the bad feeling. And then he came back because I was suicidal, because I couldn't turn the bastard thing off. And it was a bastard, and it still is some days. Thankfully, I've got this process that just wipes it out. And because it's all life lessons, it's ongoing. And if he hadn't come back, and the woman who was renting the room off at the time says, "My God," she said, "he's just told me." I said, "Who?" She said, "We're doing a reading here." She just went straight into it, because she said, "You'd be freaked out," because I didn't believe in any of this stuff, any spiritual stuff. I was like, that's all there is. Just matter. That's all. Tables and chairs. So when he started, I just said, "Who is?" He said, "Your best mate who died in the accident." I just dropped my cup of tea. I went and just started shaking, just reverberating. And she said, "Sit down. I'll get you another cup of tea." I went, How do you know? Where is he? She said, he's a guide for me. I said, "What do you mean, a guide?" She said, "A spirit guide. Have you heard of it?" I went, "No." It was like Peter Kay just being interviewed. It was like, "What are you on about, love?" And she just said, "Just ask any question." I said, "Okay." We call him Sean. If you're saying it's here now, what was his real name? She went, with a dowser, "You're right. He was called John." I went, "That's right. Why did we call him Sean then if his name's John?" She went, "He's just told me that it's because his dad was called John." I went, "That's right. Yeah." And I'm like, at this point, I'm starting to shake and convulse. It felt like that was coming out of my body. I was just shaking like mad. And then she said, "Just keep asking the questions." I said, "Okay." What was his surname? She went, "Dieu." And I went,
his name was Dyer, but he always called it. He didn't want to be known as Dyer. So that was the clincher. She gave me all the facts. What was his brother's name, Michael? What was his sister's name, Helena? And I'm like, nah, that was the clincher. That was the thing that she couldn't possibly have known. It was too personal. It could have been a setup. I could have been Noel Edmonds' gotcha for the week. That's the way I was thinking. I was so skeptical. And then she said, he's got a question for you. I went, oh, okay. Uh-oh. And I went, go on then. She said, do you want to know why you were lifted out of an accident by an unknown force and came back with these? And I went, what? Came back with this energy. And I went, what energy? She said, well, you sleep about 16 hours a day, don't you? When you've left here, you go straight to bed. I went, that's right. Yeah, I go to bed about 6 and wake up about 9, and then I'll shoot off to Rochdale. And she said, now do you believe? So I said, believe what? So she said, you were lifted out of an accident. So I said, according to 4 eyewitnesses. Yeah. And then he asked me another question. Do you want to know what you've got to do here? So I said, go on then, tell me what I've got to do. I was at a loose end. I was feeling suicidal. I thought there's nothing better on. I'm being irreverent here. And he just said, through her, he just said, you've got a mind puzzle to work out. When you work it out, you'll be remembered for the next 1,000 years. And then I heard some medium. I don't do social media. I just post up testimonials and sometimes do a little bit of jokey humor because I know it just affects us. And when somebody says, well, you've insulted the mask wearers by saying we're stupid. I thought, really? I can't engage with that. So I just delete it straight away. I think, fucking hell, I thought I had problems. Ding! And off they go. I just delete the suckers. You're trying to drum up trade saying that. And I'm thinking, wow. Okay. Lemon poke it. And I guess what I'm driving at with all that sort of diatribe of my story is that it's been a journey, and to deny being a Heyoka would be Satan's dearest wish.
Yeah,
because I know that everybody has to have this process. Who is an empath and a light worker, for starters? Then it's going to have to go into every school. Then it's going to have to go into every home to ensure that they don't crucify the last guy who got named and shamed as the savior. Nah. I just have to be the unlucky soul who stumbled and discovered it and remembered it from a past life, whatever that means.
Unlucky. It's amazing.
Could be. Okay, mad. When you think I'm just a little shit from Cheetah Mill. Oh, sorry, Mr. Asprey. Mr. Asprey, thank you for the words of inspiration there. My primary school teacher. Fucking hell. He was right, though. Still a little shit. Yes.
I think it really pisses off Satan that I'm still here, but he did his best.
Oh, that if you're pissing off Satan, you know you do it. You know you're doing something right.
Well, I pissed him off big time, which
yeah, you will do.
I'm proud of. How do you feel about getting somebody on the show and doing a bit of Heyoka with?
Let's do it. What about you?
Anybody?
What about you now?
You've done me.
What about you now?
Hang on. Right. Anybody watching? I've just put a link up to StreamYard in the chat. If anybody wants, first come, first serve. If you want to get some first-hand experience of David Ian Rogers doing Heyoka on you, it would be a gift to everybody else to have the guts to do it. So please click the link, join the studio. I'll put you on, and we'll do 10 minutes of live Heyoka. There's nothing to lose, nothing at all, apart from your trauma. Nothing to lose but your trauma. Well, stop saying yes, please. Click on the link. I'll put it in there. StreamYard link. Click on it. Enter. Come in. Hey, we've got somebody here. Deanna. Deanna is not connected. Come on, Deanna. You can do it. Oh,
come on down.
I've got to put in the first face I see, which was Heidi. Hello, Heidi.
Hello.
Heidi, ho.
I've never done this before.
Oh,
Right.
I've never pressed the button.
Me neither.
Well, it's very nice, Heidi. It's very nice to meet you. I'm going to remove myself and leave you two to it for 5 minutes so everybody can see what David does. So
Okay, I'll find a quiet room.
We'll speak
Oh,
up.
yes.
I'll just
Okay.
get myself out of the way. Here you go, guys. This is good fun.
Hello.
Oh, hello there.
How you doing, Heidi? How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm just so wowed by everything you've said. Like,
Really?
it's like, yeah, trauma's on repeat, and it's over and over like a stuck record. It resonates so much with me.
Oh, yes. Oh, very much so, yes. Okay, Heidi, yes. Are you ready? We'll do one where it's closed content. So go to a painful one that you really want to clear, but you don't want to let anybody else to know. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yes. So go to it now. Just go to it. Just bring it to mind. Go to the memory that is so painful. Have you got it, Chuck? Have you got it?
Aye.
That's all right. That's all right. Keeping the vibe high as you go to the darkness. Yes. Yes. Have you got the? Yes. And now repeat the conditioned, marked lines of the beast. I mean, the conditioning, the repeated thoughts about that memory. Oh, I'm a victim. Oh, it's my fault. You know the lines. You know the lines that you always use. Go to that memory again and now say it's all your fault or whatever the lines is. I'm just trying to give you an idea of what you're looking to repeat here, because it's the repeated thoughts that is the mental dis-ease that Satan doesn't want you to know. Don't talk to yourself.
Do I say it out loud?
Oh no! It's all well. If you don't break that, no, it could be running around in my head if I don't delete it. No, and everybody else, if they don't know how to do it, no, don't do that. Just go to the memory and then repeat the thought about the memory, and then you can stop when you go, oh God, what's that feeling? Yes, that's it. Then we know we're onto something here.
Right, I hear it over and over.
Oh yes, you hear it over and over and over. Yes. Is it creating a bad feeling there?
Yes, it is. It's stirring up emotions, but I'm trying to be like a real warrior because I'm like, I don't want
a
people
warrior
to
or a warrior. Oh, I've dropped my bowels again. Sorry about that. Yeah, a warrior. It's all right. I'm tricking your mind at this moment to make sure it's a smooth transition here. I'm tricking your mind into laughing so it doesn't hold on to the memory and take it down to the ever again. Yes. Really? Oh, yes. Now, are we ready?
Yep.
That bad feeling created, yes, by those repeated thoughts and that memory. Do you want to delete for good? Yes or no?
Yes.
Oh, that's a good decision. It could have been all over at this point. You ready? Try and make sense of this. Heidi, thanks for not laughing at me, Tourette's. Any of that make any sense? Yes or no?
Yes.
I know, that's the problem. The mind only holds on to things that make sense. Say no, it deletes it. You ready?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Yes or no?
Yes.
I know, it's holding on to grim death. It's not you speaking. Oh, this is the great awakening. Does this make sense? Does that make sense? Yes or no?
No.
Oh, she's awoken. Oh, thank God for that. We can carry on with the process. Are we ready? That is the power of the prefrontal lobe. As you've just realized, you thought Ding! Made sense. I know, everybody. I know. Easy on the girl. We're all done that. I'm only joking. That's how that's how it holds on to it. That's why I know how the modality will work. Okay. Hand on the lower abdomen. Where's that? Good question, Heidi. Belly button. Belly button. Yes. Belly button. She's laughing here. Laughing the trauma away. Yes. That's why I'm doing all this rather. So that what it does, it disconnects it here from creating it again. Yeah. Once you laugh at the trauma right after it, when you've created any form of connection, emotional connection, the laughter deletes it. And as we said in the interview, it's the reason why they don't like us chuckling. So hand on the belly, so that the mind will recognize when the belly inflates. Because you've been chuckling away, the prefrontal lobe lets go of the hold it has in the psoas muscle. So it goes, oh, I don't have to hold on to it anymore. Because it has a consciousness all of its own. It's why when Heidi's, Heidi driving along there, Heidi's driving along, she's thinking, Heidi's at the office, eyes on the road, prefrontal, eyes on the road, she's, oh my God, she's at her mother's now, and then when we get there, you go, oh my God, I'm here. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
The prefrontal lobe has a consciousness all of its own. It's a beast. And it can be activated by anything repeatedly for about 2 months, and you'll believe anything. Shut it? Yes, I know. Okay. Hand on the belly. And keeping the mouth closed at all times. Why is that? Because it keeps the Holy Spirit in. What's the Holy Spirit? It's the Holy Ghost. What's that? It's the soul. We're mere puffs of air. Really? Well, we are in this dimension. Because we're not our mind or our body. Why is that? Because we can't take it with us. No, we've put it 6 feet under. I'll throw it on a... Yes, anyway. Yes. So, ready? Hand on the belly. Breathe in. Keeping the mouth closed at all times, allowing the Holy Spirit to go up and down the vessel to dissolve the bad feeling. Hold it at the top for 3 or 4 seconds and then just allow it to go into the stomach. Go into the stomach. Heidi, just a quick reference point here. Did the belly inflate by chance on the in-breath through the nose?
It got flatter, and then on the out-breath, it got rather big, like a 5-month-old lady.
I see psychological. I see psychological reversal. I get it. So it didn't come out like a little pot belly, no, like a Buddha.
When I was breathing in, it went in, and when I was breathing out, it went out. Yeah. Did I do it right? Oh, good.
Yeah, that's marvelous. Many ways to release the prefrontal lobe's grip. Yes, you've chosen a bad one. Yes, very, very, very good choice. Yes. So you ready? Everything I do, you do. You ready?
Okay. Yep.
Shut up. Now then, try it again. Breathe now. Breathe. Breathe in through the nose. Hold it at the top. As the belly inflated by chance. Has the belly inflated when you breathe in through nostrils?
No. Is it supposed to?
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, so breathe in again then. And does it? I'll show you my belly. What a treat you've got in store here. You ready? Watch. Ready? See it inflate and then.
Right.
Yes, I thought there was a little bit of confusing. Yes. Crack on, Chuck. Crack on. Yes, crack on. Try it again. How's it doing now?
I'm doing it.
I knew you would. Every faith. Oh, yes. So do that till you become lightheaded. Why is that? Good question. It perforates the memories. The Holy Spirit, the omnipotent power of the Holy Spirit. Oh, yes, very much so. Yes. Making sure the mouth is closed at all times, allowing the breath to dissolve it all. To come back and achieve your life purpose, clearing the trauma of the family conditioning teachings. Voila. Keep going, Hardy. Keep going, lass. Keep going.
I think I've done it.
Show off. Yes. Okay. That'll be enough. You ready? Has the bad feeling gone, created by those that memory or memories?
It's still a little bit here.
Oh, where? In the room
There.
or whereabouts?
There.
Yeah. So it's outside of you now.
Yes.
Yes. That's the disconnection. That's the power of the Holy Spirit. You'll never get it back in there. Surely she won't believe that. She will. Sorry, I'm just talking to me imaginary friend. We've all got one. Maybe not. Okay. Yes. So, you ready? Now try and get it back. Try and get that feeling that's about here. Try and get it back in. You know where it was. Giving you a jip.
What,
good luck with that, by the way. Good luck with that. Go on. Go back to the memory. Go on. Things you never thought you'd hear in therapy. Come on, beat yourself up. Come on.
No, it's drawing a blank.
Oh, shit. It's worked again. I can't believe it. Shut up. Yes. Sorry, for my irreverence at the deletion of the most traumatic memory in your life. Yes. The laughing Buddha. Apparently this process was taken out of the Buddhist teachings. Dirty bastards. Anyway, yes, keep that to yourself, that thought. Yes, interesting? No. This is the end of mental illness slavery. Shh.
Thank you.
It's over.
So much.
It's over. Whew, it's over. Oh, it's so hard. I feel as high as a kite.
That was brilliant. Heidi, you were brilliant. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you so much.
I'll give you a $5 later. That was magic. That yes, it's marvelous. You did everything. You pretended you had one, and then you got rid of that. Was magic.
Thank you so much. Bye.
You're welcome, Heidi.
Bye-bye.
Heidi, bye. Heidi, bye.
Wow, that was amazing. Thanks for doing that.
Mm.
There's no time for anybody else, I'm afraid, to do that. I didn't tell him that I was going to do that. I wanted.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't.
I didn't tell him it was going live, and I didn't tell him we were going to do that.
No,
because I like living in the moment, and so do you.
Oh, me too. Yes.
That was amazing. It's brilliant.
Thank you, Mark. And you are.
Oh, very kind. Not deserved.
Oh, he owned it. Oh, that's good news. He owned it. Yeah.
Hey, yeah, that's a good point. 9 months ago, I'd have said, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm like,
I know.
Yeah, okay.
I've noticed the change, even if you haven't. You've just moved on. Yes.
Oh, no, I've noticed the change. People keep saying, oh, you've changed since you did this YouTube thing. Yeah. It's been therapy. You know, that whole chat we've just done and Heidi was therapy for everybody watching this. Share it with anybody that you know with trauma. Let them know about David's work. Get his book. Book a session if you want to, even though you're probably not going to be able to get in.
Well, we're going into August now, the 7th and 8th. It's mad.
Yeah. Well, that's why I got you on the show, you see, because I knew I wouldn't be able to get a session with you, so I thought I'd just get one myself on a freebie.
You clever little devil. You clever little devil. I can see why you live with the idea.
There's no flies on me. No flies on me.
Love it. Love your thinking, man. Love your thinking.
Oh, my boys have just come home from school, so I'm going to end this.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, good. Good morning and good afternoon. If I don't see you tonight, good night, God bless. Yes.
When this is over, we got to go on tour, do comedy show.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Yeah. Yes, I'm not doing it through a mask though. Definitely not.
No, no fucking mask. Anyway, take care. Everybody watching, thank you for watching. Glad you enjoyed it. Thank you, Heidi. Hope you feel great. I know she's going to feel great after this. Thank you, David. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.